I'm here with Steve at Swisslog. Steve, fantastic interview today with Danny from Coles. How are you going and what do you think of today's event?
It was a great event, good engagement, good bunch of people. I
Yeah.
think that's what you really want at an event like this.
Yeah.
Learn something new, it was a successful one.
I think the chat that you had about the Coles journey was really, I saw everyone making notes, a lot of people fully engaged
Yeah.
because they could relate, even if it's a smaller scale. Obviously, not everyone's as big as Coles, but they listened to the type of journey you worked on with them and they really took a lot away from it.
Yeah, correct. I think it's important just to state that it's not ever a streamlined journey, but it's a matter of working together to solve the relevant problems and issues that you have within your business, and then importantly really working with an integrator that has the experience across multiple sites, multiple categories, different sorts of businesses. So when you have a problem, chances are we already have a solution, or you have a solution that's quite close to what the challenge is, so you can move a lot quicker and know that what we'll implement for you is actually going to work.
What's really impressed me about you and the team at Swisslog, it doesn't matter if it's frozen beef or chicken carcasses, right through to vertical farming or Scootopia. Your skills and your engineering mindset, it sort of knows no bounds really. You can really apply this stuff, and with your presentation, I know even with Richard as well, it shows the skills and the diversity across your team.
I'd agree with that, and I think it's really the strength of the business. Now, we manufacture a majority of our equipment, both our software, our control systems, as well as our mechanics, etc. So it gives us the flexibility and, importantly, the know-how. We always start with a blank sheet. We never have a cookie-cutter approach when it comes to solutions. So you always know when you come to us with a problem, we're going to develop a solution that's specifically for you, and it's going to work and deliver on the challenges that you have. But also, as importantly, is what happens once it goes live and who takes care of it and maintains it. So, a term that we like to use when we sign contracts with a customer, it's like putting the ring on, right? Because you're married for the next 5 to 10 years. It's really important, an important part of the operation.
Yeah. Well, that's one of my questions I want to ask you as well, Steve. When you look at the rapid change of technology, how do you try? I mean, there's no perfect way to do this, but how do you try and future-proof some of these applications?
So it's all to do in looking at what the customer needs to get out of the system. And this is where we spend a lot of time doing the mathematical design and then making sure that within the footprint and the solution itself, we leave areas for expansion or any future changes. I think that's the important part that we do throughout the design process. There's certain elements that you're never going to be able to grasp at early stage feasibility or throughout the initial phase one design. So that's why we do a lot of sensitivity to the design level.
And that's what you refer to as factor for growth, is that right?
Correct, yeah. You perform sensitivity. What happens if the customer has 30% growth forecast in 3 years' time? Well, what happens if that increases to 50%? And it gives the customer the comfort that this is what the automation is going to deliver for me, right? So I know if I need to do more hours, I can plan for it. Or if my SKU profile changes, it doesn't fit in the automation anymore, I've got this footprint and manual rack available, and it allows me to pick from there and consolidate. It's creating that flexibility for the customer.
And the other good thing that I've always seen, especially with some of your presentations today, the penny dropped around the modular design that you've created too.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and that's what we pride ourselves on, and it really simplifies it for the customer. Now, automation inherently is it's a quite complex process and quite complex piece of kit, but to really standardize it and have it as modular, it's easy for the customer to understand, because as much as you're selling to the customer and they're experts and you're having those conversations, it's also the guys that are actually operating the site. It's a very different level of understanding. So standardizing it, making it simple is very important.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Steve. Wonderful presentation. Thank you for taking us all on that journey that you've had with Coles and showing the sustainability impact benefits as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers. So that was good. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.